Let's have a little midweek catch up. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tamlyn and this is Sewn on the Tyne, and I thought I'd just pop on today with a little bit of a midweek catch up. I didn't manage to get on and do a Friday sews last week, so it's been like a week and a half since I've updated you on anything that I've done. So I thought I'd come on today and just share a little bit of what has been going on in my sewing room and sewing life, I guess. So just to tell you what I'm wearing first, this is my Helen's Closet Jackson tee. I'm just sort of comfy in the house, but I popped this on and I've got it on with my Closet Core plateau joggers. And then I've got these pretty earrings on from Sapphire Frills, and I just thought it all went quite nicely together, like the pastel sort of ice cream vibes. So yes, that is what I'm wearing. I haven't ironed this t-shirt, but you know, I'm just slobbing around the house, so it's absolutely fine. So in terms of sewing, I have not even unpacked my sewing machine since Sewtoon on the 5th of January. How bad is that? Yeah, it's still in its carry case, which you can just see back there. I haven't even unpacked it. So that is how much sewing has been going on in my life over the last week and a half. When I was at Sewtoon and Ruan and Rachel were there that day, which was really, really lovely, I was working on one of my whips, which is the Closet Core Jenna. I still haven't finished it. However, I did make some really good progress. I tackled the sleeve plackets, which is something that has been sort of holding up this project, I guess, because it was something I'd never done before. So let's find an example to share with you. Yes, so we now have the sleeve plackets done. So I'm just at the point now where I need to attach the cuffs, but I'm really pleased with how it's coming along, and I'll be delighted for this to actually be finally finished. I started it in March last year, so I'm hoping to finish it by March this year. The plan was originally, if I finished it when I actually made it, was to wear it to the Stitch Festival last year, and Ruan and Rachel were going to wear theirs as well. Well, they wore theirs and I didn't wear mine because mine never got finished in time. But never mind. So yes, that is something I do need to finish off soon. And I've done no sewing since then. Such a sad time. However, I've done a couple of bits and bobs. Obviously, I've had my Helen's Closet Spindrift project ongoing, and I've been doing some bits here and there in the background, and I have actually done some filming for that today, and the video for that will go up tomorrow, so on Thursday. Yeah, I want to get the midweek catch up when it is actually midweek, Wednesday, and then the next Helen's Closet episode will go up tomorrow, so you'll find out where I'm up to with that. A couple of things have been entering my sewing life. So you may or may not have heard of a company called Emporia Patterns, run by two lovely ladies. They sell patterns and they sell fabric. So they last year were doing this thing called Tenner Tuesday, where they chose a selection of fabrics and reduced it to £10 a metre. So last Tuesday they popped on a little selection of fabrics, and it was some really good fabrics, like fabric godmother fabrics, and I thought, oh, this is a nice, so I'm looking down there because one of them's fallen on the floor. Let me get it. This is a nice little opportunity because a couple of those fabrics I'd been looking at before anyway, and reducing them to £10 a metre was near enough half price for the fabric godmother fabric. So I dilly-dallied, and by the time I went on to get it, I couldn't get as much quantity-wise as I would have wanted, but I got all that they had left. So let me find my invoice. Can I? I can. So I got the Fabric Godmother Luna Lurex Spot Viscose in black and multicolour, and I got 1 metre of this one. This is just really fun. They do this in a denim as well, but it's got all of these really cool like animals, moons, suns, like rainbows, but with these Lurex flecks running through. So with just 1 metre, I was thinking of something like a simple camisole top, like an Ogden cami or that kind of vibe. Something very simple, and obviously I've only got 1 metre, so it'll have to be something quite simple. And then the other one I got was Fabric Godmother Livia Viscose Twill in pink, red and blue. I've looked at this for ages and I managed to get the last 2 meters of this one. I don't actually have a plan for this, but I just loved it. I love the really bold floral and I love the colours in it, like the really bright pinks and things like that. So I kind of need your help really as to what I would like to do with as to what I should do with this fabric. I'm thinking possibly a jumpsuit, something like, saying that 2 meters for a jumpsuit isn't an awful lot. I was thinking of like the Helen's Closet Lockhart or the True Bias Darla, but I guess I could do, rather than the full length legs, I could do the shorts, or I could do the little dress version, like the mini dress version. Let me know if you've got any thoughts on that one. It's a viscose twill, so it's got lovely drape, but it's got a nice amount of body to it as well. So yeah, that was a bargain. So that was £20 for the 2 meters of that one. I have also placed another couple of orders with a couple of other companies, but they haven't arrived yet, so we'll have to share those with you another time. My Specky Seamstress subscriptions have arrived, so do skip forward a couple of minutes if you do not want to see these, because you might not have received yours yet. But I subscribe to the bias binding and to the labels with the Specky Seamstress. So look away now. You've had your warning. It's about to come on the screen. 3, 2, 1. There we go. So that is the bias binding. It's this really cool summer themed beach design. I think that would look really nice around like a bag, a beach bag. So you could use that either on the inside or the outside to bind a beach bag. I think that would look really, really cute. Or I was going to say like around the outside of a picnic blanket or towel, but I don't actually think you would have enough. Is that 2 meters or 3 meters? I can't remember now, but I just thought that design is actually really fun. I love it. And then the labels, I'll show you them in the plastic and then I'll take them out. So that's how they arrive. And you always get a large label and a small label, so a few of each. So 3 of the large and 4 of the small, I think. So the large one this month is Always Crafting, and it's got these little cute crafty symbols on, like knitting, safety pin. No, that's not a safety pin. What is that? It's a paper clip. Scissors and a pencil. And then the mini label. The mini label matches the bias binding from a couple of months ago, and it's this cute little yellow duck. That's adorable. So that was my Specky Seamstress subscriptions. I think that's everything that's arrived. Could I be wrong? No, I'm correct. Right, the next thing I wanted to talk about was a couple of comments I had on my last video. Well, first of all, thank you to everybody who made comments about Taylor appearing in my double unboxing video. That was very unexpected, but everyone seemed to really enjoy seeing him because I don't actually think he's appeared in a video other than photographs, so people liked seeing him. Yeah, he will be 5 in July, so he's, you know, well past 4.5, and he's great. He's a little character. Keeps me on my toes, deprives me of sleep, but is amazing at the same time. So thank you if you made lovely comments about Taylor, that's really kind. One lady did say I would have liked to see everything in the cross stitch kit. So I did, if you haven't watched that video, an unboxing of a cross stitch subscription from Sew Sophie Crafts, and then also my Sew Hayley Jane unboxing. Do go and watch that if you haven't already. I would love you to check that video out. But when I showed the cross stitch kit, I just sort of showed it and told you what was in it, but Tanya Sue Sews, sorry if I've got that wrong, but she said she would have liked to see everything that was in it, and I'm really sorry, it didn't even cross my mind. I just sort of went ta-da and explained what was in it. But yes, let's open it up and see what was inside. Scissors might have been useful here. I can probably peel. Oh, see, I've just ripped it. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So comes in this lovely box, which is now ripped, and this is a mindful crafting kit suitable for beginners. So when you open up your sleeve, you have your hoop, you have your pattern and your instructions, and then you have your little bag. So let's open the little bag. So in there you have your Ada, which is the 14 count Ada. You have a little leaflet which talks you through how to cross stitch, and I found this really useful actually because I really like the method that Sophie uses to start her cross stitch, which is the loop method. And when I tried other cross stitch before I started Sophie's kits, I'd never used that method before or even heard of it, so I picked that up from one of her leaflets. And then you have a card with all of the different threads on that you need, and you have your needle on the back. And then you have, like I say, your design there. On the back it tells you the threads that you require, and then when you open it up it's got your actual pattern and your key at the bottom to tell you which thread to use. So yes, I'm really sorry if you also watched that video and thought, show us what's inside, and I didn't. I'm really sorry. Right, although I haven't been sewing, I've managed to cut out a couple of things. It won't mean much to you if I show you them, but I've cut out 2 Stylo Hope dresses. Well, no, I've cut out one and I've got one fabric out ready to cut out the other one. If you've been watching me for a while, you will know this is one of the oldest fabrics in my stash. It's a viscose from Rainbow Fabrics way back when, and I finally cut it out into the Stylo Hope dress. And then I've got my fabric from this month's So Hayley Jane box. So again, if you haven't opened yours, look away now. But it is this lovely cotton poplin, so I'm going to cut it out in that as well. And I think I'll actually batch sew those at the same time because they're both going to be with black thread, black overlocker. So black overlocking thread. So I can just sew them along at the same time. And yes, hopefully on Friday I might get a little bit of time to start working on those. So 2 Stylo Hope dresses will hopefully be in my wardrobe very soon. Each time I've made it so far, I've made it twice, and I've made the shortened version. The viscose that I've just cut out there with the big cats on and the tropical things, jungly things, I've cut out the short version, but I'm hoping to cut out the longer version out of this fabric, but I'll just see how I get on. 2.5 meters should be enough, so fingers crossed. So I think that's pretty much it for an update. I wanted to share a couple of other things, but they're a little bit random. So one thing was something I've been loving watching on YouTube. So I always love watching So Let's Sparkle with Sam. I think she's fabulous. I've met her in person when she came to First for Fabrics as well. And she's been putting out quite a few videos recently because she turns 50 this year, and she's designed or come up with some different hashtags to kind of guide her sewing this year, things that she's going to aim for in celebration of her 50th year. So she's been putting out extra videos around that, and I've really been enjoying watching them. So if you do not follow So Let's Sparkle with Sam, do go and check her out because I think she's fabulous and I think you will love her. And the last thing to mention is not sewing related, but it's something I've been really loving. I am an avid reader, or I love to read and want to read as much as I can, but I have so many things that I love to do, so it's really difficult for me to fit everything in. And over the last couple of months, reading has really gone to the bottom of the pile, and I needed to get it back up to the top of the pile. So when we were in Dublin just before Christmas and we were in the airport coming home, I popped into the shop and I bought a couple of books, and one of them was this, which is called Bright Young Women, and it's by Jessica Knoll, and I am absolutely hooked. So you can see where I'm up to there. I'm quite far on, but I'm absolutely loving it, and I just wanted to recommend it as a book. I'll very briefly read some of the back. It says, January 1978, Tallahassee. Sorority president Pamela Schumacher is startled awake at 3 a.m. and is shocked to encounter a scene of implausible violence. 2 of her friends dead and 2 others maimed. Thrust into a terrifying mystery, Pamela becomes entangled in a crime that will captivate public interest for more than 4 decades. And then, Seattle. Tina Cannon thinks she has finally found peace after years of hardship when Ruth, her best friend, suddenly goes missing from Lake Sammamish State Park on a beautiful summer's day. Now Tina has devoted herself to finding out what happened to her. When she hears about the tragedy in Tallahassee, she knows it's the man the papers refer to as the all-American sex killer. Determined to make him answer for what he did to Ruth, she travels to Florida on a collision course with Pamela and one last impending tragedy. So it's inspired by the real-life sorority targeted by America's first celebrity serial killer in his final murderous spree. So yes, highly recommend. Obviously I haven't finished it yet, but I can't imagine that I'm not going to enjoy the last part when I've loved it so much so far. So yes, I always love getting book recommendations, so if you've read something brilliant recently, do drop it down below, and I would recommend this to anybody. If you like the sound of it, then go and check it out. Right, I'm going to leave it there. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed just having a little midweek catch up with me and finding out what's been going on in my world over the last week or so. So if you don't already subscribe, I would love it if you join us here, and I'll see you again soon in my next video. Happy sewing. Bye.